All of these bills are bad. This one is probably the absolute worst one, though. 6310, which seeks to codify the so-called Immigrant Trust Directive. It's not just a misguided piece of legislation. It's bad law, bad policy, and a direct affront to the U.S. citizens we were elected to serve. This bill essentially puts a stamp of approval on lawless behavior. I ask you to name one other area of governance where we create a state law specifically designed to forbid the enforcement of a federal law. We don't do it for tax evasion. We don't do it for environmental protection. But here we are, creating a legal barrier to law enforcement. This is yet another special interest carve-out for the benefit of those who flout our immigration law. The real trust crisis in New Jersey isn't between illegal aliens and the police. It's between the government and law-abiding American citizens. Where is the impetus to show Americans that we stand with them? When we tell our local police that federal law enforcement officers are the bad guys, we destroy the credibility of every officer who wears a badge in this state. If we have a state law that requires local, county, and state employees to ignore federal law, how can we expect people to respect any of our laws? For decades, illegal immigration has ebbed and flowed in our country, but Americans always had one constant to rely on: the trust that authorities would do their jobs to find and remove those who are here illegally. This bill shatters that very trust. This bill will do absolutely nothing to change federal immigration law. It will do absolutely nothing to stop ICE from arresting and detaining people. It is pure fantasy to believe that immigration enforcement will cease with the codification of this unlawful directive. To think New Jersey can stall the federal government is to ignore reality. With the passage of the recent Big Beautiful Bill, ICE's budget has increased by 300%, a budget larger than the FBI and double that of the Coast Guard. They spend more in a single week than the New Jersey State Police do an entire year. They now have the resources, and they will use them. Witnesses provided testimony to the Appropriations Committee meeting last week, stating that ICE is more active in our state than ever before. Yes, this was welcome news, and immigration enforcement officers must be engaged, since, as you heard the Assemblyman say, we could have as many as 1 million illegal aliens in our state. Their workload is massive. Local police could help ICE target the high-level and most dangerous offenders that we hear so much about, that you could also find out on dhs.gov. They could find them. They could be helpful. But what happens is we now have this wall where you can't. So the Immigrant Trust Directive makes it almost impossible. Local police chiefs could be the ones who determine if their departments have the time and the manpower to work with ICE and other outside agencies, not Trenton bureaucrats who are clearly more concerned with protecting illegal aliens. When we drive on our state highways, we see the DOT signs on New Jersey that are often lit up with messages like, "Don't be a knucklehead," or "Ho, ho, ho, please drive slow." It's funny stuff, and maybe it's even effective, but perhaps we should use those signs and billboards to send a real message that there are consequences for being in this country illegally, or maybe let some of these people know that they could get that $1,000 and a free plane ticket home, get their affairs in order, and maybe come back here someday the right way. It's oddly enough, it's a limited form of amnesty offered by the Trump administration right now. But I do not expect to see those messages posted anytime soon. This bill sends a signal to the nation and the world that New Jersey is not serious about the rule of law. It tells our citizens they are second-class residents in their own state. It's time to stop prioritizing those who broke our laws over those who follow them. I urge you to stand up for New Jersey and vote no on this lawless directive.